The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that, if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned.
Hey kids, welcome back to Roto Talk.
Kids, welcome back. It is Saturday afternoon, 5 o'clock. It is snowing like a bag ass, man. It's like 22 degrees out there, and we've got, looks like 40 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour winds, plus snow. Awesome. All right, so we're just gonna do a quick video. These are a servo video, and we are probably tomorrow doing the radio box video for the cracker box build. So I figured this is kind of fitting. It just goes in. So I've had a lot of people ask me over the years, what servos do I prefer? Because like a lot of guys use the really expensive S-Vox, S-V-O-X. Or you use a fifth scale, do you use a standard, what kind of kg power, blah, 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 blah. Let me go see if I got a fifth scale. I might have one loose, hang on. All right, here we are. So here's an old, just little basic, what is this thing? 5-pole ball bearing high-tech. I have had the worst luck with high-tech servos, H-I-T-E-C, I think. And I only ever get them like used, like if I buy an RC car off eBay that I'm going to restore, or a boat or something, and they come with it. I usually pitch them. This was in my drawer of Misfit toys.
I'm the official sentry of the island of Misfit toys.
And so yeah, this just standard Junko high-tech. This is a 9-gram. This is a Racer Star off of Banggood. Believe it or not, Metal Gear Servo. Very good servos. You buy these and they send you a bag of them for like $20, and they're really good.
He's got a lacing of tiger's blood in him.
I was shocked. I used these in flying wings and really tiny boats, like 3S electric boats. Like here, hang on. I don't know if you guys can see this very well. But there is an ML rigger that's a very tiny 3S. Very fast boat, but very tiny. This has one of these in there for a steering servo, I believe. Or if you're brave enough to do a nitro boat, these work really good on nitro engines for the throttle control, or even the needle, the secondary needle going in. These are really good servos, Metal Gear. So there's two types of geared servos usually. You got a metal gear and a plastic gear. Plastic gears pretty much suck. Metal gear is the only way to fly. Now, you could use a plastic gear. The only thing I'd probably use it on is RC airplanes or something where there's not a whole lot of load. Metal gear for anything boat. Don't even mess with it. This is a 5th scale servo. This is actually this was out of my Rovin, my gas car. And this is a 5th scale 34cc, very customized RC gas car. Big Muff, we call him. Great car. I need to go through him and give him kind of an upgrade, but runs real well. But this was the original steering servo out of him. I don't know if it works or not. It was in the drawer. But that's a 5th scale servo, so very large, very big servo, as you can see. Now here's a standard servo. You get the gist. Now I've used Futaba, S-Vox, high-techs, low-techs, bag of Vassars, whatever. Whatever. I've tried them all. So a lot of RC boat kits will say in a 5th scale boat, like a big gasser, like the Cracker Box or something, they'll say, oh, use a 5th scale servo for the steering. I have one friggin' boat. Two. I think Einstein, my Thunderboat, has one of these. Not a Rovin. It's I can't remember. It might be an S-Vox, 5th scale size. And I think one hydroplane, one of my Silver Bullet Blazer Marine Backlash Gen 3 has one. Completely unneeded. Very heavy. Very expensive for a good 5th scale servos. This isn't a good one, but they're very, very expensive. Yeah, I don't use them. This, believe it or not, is what I use. In every single boat. If you look at all these boats back here, very cheap I will put a link in the description of where I get them on eBay and where I get them, believe it or not, on Amazon. They're the same damn thing. They're very affordable. They're 20 kg, so 2.2 pounds, or 2.2 to, a pound. 20 kg Metal Gear digital servo, and it has a good throw. So when we talk about throw, we talk about how far the arm swings. Okay? So this one's just going round and round and round. Okay? But anyway, that's the throw. So is it, older servos, you get into like the old ones, like Futaba's or something you might run across in some used gear, they might only go 90, okay, or 180, whatever. So that's where your servo testers come in. I buy these off Amazon. I buy one every 3 or 4 years. They're very, very cheap. They're like $5 or something. I put a little magnet on the back of mine so I can stick it to my door. But you can get these off Amazon, or any hobby shop probably has them. It's all good. And that's basically it. All right. So to test these dudes, you can see where it says, I don't like this particular one because it's very misleading. If you put the plug in sideways, it'll overheat, burn your batteries and whatever. So you have to, yeah, I don't like it. But anyway, signal wire goes towards the top. And then this one has a multi-mode, so you can turn this. So if I put it right in the middle, so 800, 1600, right? Give or take, should be the middle. So we can put our horn in the middle and have a look. Okay? And then you can hit pulse. That centers it. Okay, so it's 1500. And then it's got like this. It's pretty interesting. Real slow. And we can speed it up too. So the megahertz of speed is also important. But this is what I use in all of my boats. Believe it or not. They're very affordable. I think they're around, don't quote me on this, $20 a pop. Look in the description. I can't remember. I buy 4 at a time usually. And I have literally had boats where I wipe out or flip or whatever, and the servos get totally soaked and whatever else. These do say they're waterproof. Anything that says it's waterproof is a lie.
Stop pretending. Let's stop pretending.
Nothing's waterproof. I'm just telling you. Here's one in a brand new bag. And these servos come with a bunch of plastic servo horns and a couple of screws if you want to screw them into something. Comes with the servo, no shit. And then it comes with an aluminum 25 tooth horn with 2 gotcha screws right there and right there to lock it in. So you lock in those screws, and then that screw goes through the center. Always use Loctite on the center screw. So very affordable, and they say they're waterproof. I don't know if they really are by themselves, but here's what I do. I take off the horn. I take this conformal coating. I've talked about this before, and I remember back in the day when I did drones on this channel, and I introduced this to people because it waterproofs stuff. You can take a circuit board, you spray it. It's basically almost like a sprayable. You can think of it as a sprayable rubber cement almost. And it'll get you high pretty good. But I remember a guy asking me one time, or telling me in one of the comments, make sure you use that in good ventilation. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm not spraying a fucking car with it. I'm just doing a servo, but whatever. So yeah, I mean, don't shoot it up your nose. It'll probably kill you. So what I do, even though these are already, say they are waterproof, and you probably can't see it, but there is a little rubber gasket right there going around, and a rubber gasket right there going around. That's usually not where they leak, though. They usually leak right there, okay, and maybe around there. But these are sealed up pretty good. But here's what I do. I take this conformal coat. There's 2 types. There's brush on, and there's the spray. I grab it by one of the tabs. Okay. You don't need to shake it. Okay. Hold it a couple inches away. You get too much, too little, who cares? Doesn't matter. All right. Let that tack up for 5 minutes. Shoot it again. You really want to get those screws because that'll seal it. This will literally seal a circuit board. That's what it's made for. You spray a circuit board, you can dip it in your aquarium. I think I did a video many years ago on waterproofing stuff, and I literally took stuff and dunked it underwater after using this, and it works. Spray it around this boot where the wires are, around here, and of course it's not going to be perfect around there because that rotates, but it does help. Now you can maybe see in the camera that that's drying pretty quick. I give them 2 coats, and what I do is I actually hang them from my toolbox handles. I'll literally just tie this in a knot and let them sit there for 5-10 minutes, sitting there cooking. And then I take them off and I do them again. End game. Then you throw them in your boat. So now they're double waterproofed, and it works exceptionally well. Since I've done that, I can count on maybe 3 fingers the times that I have, in the last, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years, that I've actually had a servo fail because of water. Yeah, it works really, 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 really well. So, getting back to what I said before about using a 5th scale servo, massive weight difference, as you can see. Massive. These are great for steering 5th scale gas cars. Sure, I mean, the thing weighs 30 pounds, it's doing 60 miles an hour in dirt. Hell yeah. You don't need that in a boat. I use these for steering and throttle. Exceptional overkill for throttle. But what's nice about it is you can swap them around if you ever, one goes a little bit weak on you or something like that. But I literally use this for steering on huge boats, big thunder boats like Einstein, and you know, my SLR thunderboats from Zip Kits, my hydroplanes from Blazer, my V-hulls, my cracker boxes. When we do the radio box video, you'll see that this is exactly the servos I'm going to use. And I'm going to, since we're talking about it, shoot this one too, because we're going to be installing them tomorrow. So might as well get ahead of the game. Okay. Easy enough. That's it. So that's what I use for servos. Servo testers, very useful, because what we use these for primarily is centering the servo before you put it in the radio box. You don't have to do that. You don't have to buy one of these. You can use your receiver and your transmitter, make sure the trims are zeroed, plug them in, turn everything on so that all of your servos go to center, unplug them, pop him over.
Pop him over.
And then put them in, hook everything up, same principle. These are just nice if you want to do that. Or you want to test a servo tester, see? Servo consistency. If you're really going to get that anal about it, sure, well, you can. But like when I get dead, you know, like if I buy a boat, I usually buy one boat a year off eBay, like maybe an old tunnel hull, something like that I want to restore in the winter. It's just fun to do. You know, a lot of times they'll come with these old ass servos in them, and I'll test them. I still usually throw them away anyway because these are so cheap that it's just not. It's not worth it to use a junky old servo from 1986 that's analog, that has a weak throw, and sucks batteries. You know, the efficiency, you know, you used to have to use big servos in gas boats for the steering because it takes a lot of torque. I mean, it really does. But the servos have come a long way. These 20 kg servos are freaking strong. You don't need this. At least I don't. I don't know. I beat on my boats pretty good. And I do crazy turns, sharp turns, pin turns, everything else. And my little 20 kgs hold up great. But Metal Gear, 20 kg, waterproof. So we're going to go over servos a little bit more when we do the radio box. But that's just a quick introduction to how everything works. So until tomorrow, keep dry side up. Bye.